Hey guys, welcome back to Calibrate Tools, and today we're going to make sure that you have the right tools in your toolbox or tool bag to start this year off prepared and ready. So we're going to talk about some of the basic essential tools that everybody should have in their home, car, or workplace. Okay, first up, wrenches. You gotta have a wrench in your toolkit, okay? These are essential, whether it's a combination wrench or a crescent wrench or a pipe wrench for loosening or tightening nuts and bolts or loosening or tightening pipes or pipe fittings. These are must-haves in your toolbox. You can't do without wrenches. You can use them in your home, in your car, or wherever you need to use them, okay? Okay, guys, if you don't have one of these, a screwdriver, then you're pretty much screwed, okay? Pun intended. Now, screwdrivers are like the universal tool. Everybody has one. Why? Because there's screws in just about everything. Whether it's installing those new hinges on those kitchen cabinets you just bought, or adjusting the idle speed on your lawnmower carburetor, if you don't have a screwdriver, somebody may actually think you have a screw loose. So go out and get yourself a set of screwdrivers ASAP. Okay, let's be serious. You can't really call yourself a handyman or handywoman or even a pro contractor or do-it-yourselfer without having one of these. A drill. I don't care if it's cordless or corded. You gotta have it. Why? Because they make holes in things, holes in walls, for instance, right? And that's what you need to do to put up a shelf or do whatever, right? But guess what? What's the point of having a drill without having one of these? A set of drill bits. This one even has masonry bits. Check it out. Yeah. Take a close look at that. They range in size from about 1/16 to 5/16. They also have some flathead screwdriver bits as well as Phillips screwdriver bits. And they also have star key head screwdriver bits for those star-headed screws. Check it out. Okay, guys, hammers. I don't know what to say about these guys. These things have probably been around since the beginning of time, right? What do you do with hammers? You pull nails out of the walls with them, or you hit nails in the walls with them, right? And they're pretty much self-explanatory. I don't care if it's a framing hammer like this one, if you're framing houses, or you're hanging pictures by hitting nails into the walls to hang those pictures. By the way, there's a great tool called the Exactac picture hanging tool, okay, that helps you hang your pictures really nice and straight. Just go to www.exactac.com and get you one, all right? So anyway, back to hammers. You gotta have one of these. Not having one of these in your toolbox, I think that disqualifies your toolbox from actually being a toolbox, in my opinion. Okay, if you're really serious about your craft or your trade, whether it's carpentry, woodworking, plumbing, or you're just a serious DIYer that needs to find the distance from point A to point B, you're gonna need one of these, a measuring tape, okay? Walking out the house without your measuring tape is like walking out the house without your car keys. Well, that's assuming that you drive. And this is one of the most important tools to have in your toolbox, if not the most important. Because like they say, measure twice, cut once. Okay, now this little guy right here, this guy right here, also called a utility knife or a box cutter, is one of the most useful tools that anyone can ever have. Okay, this thing is so versatile when it comes to cutting through different materials because of the sharp blades that it has, that you would not want to be without this. I don't care if you're out camping, you can use it to cut through small branches as you walk through the forest, or you can use it to open packages. You can use it to cut rope. In extreme cases, it can be used to defend yourself with, right? I don't suggest that, but like I said, in extreme cases. You want to have a utility knife because it's very useful. You can use it to score lines in plastic or wood. Great thing about utility knives is that they always have extra blades installed. Like in this model, all I have to do is pull this button up, lift the flap cover, and there you have extra blades ready to use. I always like that about utility knives. You can even use it to cut up your vegetables, you know, if you don't have a regular knife. When you're out camping, like I said, you know, this thing is pretty handy. Okay, so if you're into carpentry, woodworking, metalworking, or just general construction, you're gonna need one of these right here, okay? This is called a square, and they have different types of squares. They have the combination square like this, and they have the speed square like this. Either way, if you want to reference a 90-degree angle in your projects, you're gonna need a square, okay? There's no way of getting around that. So you can check out my video on how to use a speed square, and it'll tell you all about squares and how wonderful they are, right? So go ahead and make sure that you have one of these in your toolbox if you're into DIY or building things, right? Because you will not regret it. Okay, guys, let's talk about vice grips, or clamps, okay? So I got a couple right here. These things are so useful, right? I mean, if you need to clamp something to your workbench, like this piece of wood right here, so easy to do, right? So easy to do. You just, boom, there you go. Not going anywhere, okay? If you need to work on anything or hold something in place, you need a vice grip, all right? So if you're into DIY or building things, or, you just need to hold something in place, okay? Get a vice grip. These things are so useful right here. Okay, now, this right here, okay, guys? This right here is a vice, okay? It's not like the clamps. These are vices too, but this is what you call a vice. And I can't tell you how useful having a vice can be in your workshop or, wherever you are and you need to clamp something or really hold something that's heavy duty. No, you only got two hands. And if you're working on a project, like even filming these videos and you need to demonstrate stuff, you only got two hands. And having a vice like this is like having three other hands, okay, depending on what you got to hold in place. So this is an indispensable device. You can even call it a tool that you should and must have in your arsenal. Okay, guys, another must-have in your toolbox is a stud finder, okay? These things, well, if I had x-ray vision, do you think I'll be doing these videos right now? I'll probably be doing something else. But in any case, stud finders are like a quote-unquote godsend when it comes to finding studs behind a wall, okay? So they're pretty simple to use, okay? All you gotta do is place it against the wall, drag it across, and when that lights up and makes that buzzing sound, guess what? You found a stud. So I would suggest that if you want to find a stud behind the wall, because you need to, then go get a stud finder, especially if you want to hang those pictures with the X-Acto picture hanging tool. Okay, guys, let's just say you have an electrical problem in your house. The wiring is shot in one of the electrical boxes, or let's just say one of your power tools is on the blink and you need to check the wiring in one of those too. Well, guess what you're going to need? You're going to need a multimeter or a voltmeter, okay? Multimeters are great to test old batteries to see if they still have juice in them, or, you got some old extension cords and you want to make sure they're good. You can even test light bulbs, old light bulbs sitting around, but I think they have to be incandescent light bulbs to use the multimeter on. And yeah, those electrical boxes, these are great for testing those as well. Okay, guys, let's just say you're working on a project and you need to find an angle of an object, whether it's an outside angle or the inside angle of that object, right? Well, you want to get something like an angle finder right here, okay? This is an analog angle finder, but they also have digital angle finders as well. That makes the job really easy to find those angles, okay? So you might want to get one of these. I did a great video on angle finders. You want to check that out and see how they work, because these are indispensable when it comes to finding angles. Okay, last but not least, you want to have one of these, a bubble level. Okay, sometimes they're called spirit levels or just simply levels, okay? And you can use these to find the true vertical or true horizontal of an object, okay? Now, levels are an absolute necessity when you want to make sure that your work is square, or as they say, plumb. And you definitely don't want to have these missing in your toolbox. Okay, guys, so let's go over those basic tools once again that you should have in your tool arsenal. Wrench, screwdriver, drill, hammer, measuring tape, utility knife, square, vise, stud finder, multimeter, angle finder, bubble level. Okay, guys, those were 12 of some of the basic tools that you should have in your tool arsenal. But believe me, there's a whole lot more. But that's another video. Hey guys, if you like what you saw today and you learned something, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.